Welcome to Public Soul Podcast. The outbreak of coronavirus has taken center stage since this February. Analysts have quoted Covid-19 as the single most important factor affecting the Singapore property market outlook. I have heard three questionable things circulating in the market. The first thing is the government should lift unnecessary cooling measures during this difficult time. Secondly, a low or zero interest rate from the banks will provide cheap money for people to buy properties. Lastly, with the slowly easing of circuit breaker, things will go back to normal and the market will recover soon. Let me clarify them one by one in this video. The April new sale and resale volumes have dropped 50% and 57% respectively. Do we still need cooling measures like ABSD and TDSR? I think people overestimate the power of property curbs. If the cooling measures are so effective, the government only have to announce it once and it will work. Why would the government have to do it 9 rounds? If people all believe that the economy is going to recover in the second half of the year, the government only have to announce the support measures once. Why are they going to have the 4th round? The TDSR was introduced in December 2011, and after that, property prices continued to climb another 7 consecutive quarters until they reached the peak in 2013 Q3. That prompted the government to announce the TDSR, and after that, property prices dropped 15 consecutive quarters until in 2017 Q3, property prices climbed again. But the 3rd quarter of 2017, the government didn't abolish or ease any cooling measures or TDSR or ABSD. That proof property prices is all about economy and market sentiment. If the economy is doing well, people are more positive and optimistic about the outlook of their business or job prospect. They're more motivated to upgrade their home or invest their spare cash. But we are now in the midst of the COVID-19 crisis, with countries falling into recession one by one, including Germany, Japan, and Thailand. Unfortunately, Singapore is not a self-sufficient economy, and we depend very much on the consumption investment of foreign countries. And many of us are working for US, European, and Japanese MNCs. Even if the government were to abolish cooling measures like TDSR or ABSD, do you think that many people will have the mood to go and upgrade their home or to buy an investment property? I bought my properties during the prolonged downturn in the mid-2000s. When property prices were so affordable, why were people not buying? Do you think that I was the only one who had the money to buy at that time? A recent article from Sydney said it best. Being afraid to buy and not spend is a bigger problem than not having the money to spend. The second thing is it's not about the wage, it's about the rent. Federal Reserve tried to lower the interest rates close to zero, and many countries follow suit. Would that help to stimulate sales in the real estate market? Well, yes or no. The institutional investors will be able to borrow cheap money to finance the acquisition of real estate companies or property assets which are in deep financial troubles. But would the banks be keen to lend money to retail investors like you and me to buy properties? I don't think so. The concern of the banks right now is not to lend more money, but to get back their money. By lowering the interest rate, it makes it easier for the borrowers to pay back their debts. This is because there are many home loan borrowers not able to pay back their mortgage. Otherwise, there's no need for home loan deferment. When the banks are working so hard trying to lower their bad debts, would they create new bad debts with another hand? Interest rate is not a main concern for property investment. Remember the interest rates, they were escalating like crazy in 2006 and 2007, yet property prices continue to climb. Who cares about higher interest rate when tenants were willing to pay higher rents? I bought my properties in 2002 and 2004. The interest rate at that time they were even lower than these days. But people were still not buying. Why? Who wants to be a landlord when there are few tenants and no rents. In Singapore, the private home market depends on the local buyers, but the private rental market depends on the foreign tenants. Now the expansion have left, there's no replacement. For some companies, even if they're high budget, the foreigners cannot relocate to Singapore because of the lockdown. The foreigners will come to Singapore because of the high-paid jobs. If we don't have these jobs, why would they come? If they don't come, where can we find the tenants? Are you going to ask the 90% HDB flat owners to sell their flats and come and rent your private condo unit or landed house? The last thing is, it's not about the pandemic, it's about the economics. We are blaming the pandemic for all difficulties faced by the retail owners, the office landlords, and the co-working spaces now. But COVID-19 is only the immediate cause. There are so many underlying causes of there for so long, and then we choose to ignore. COVID-19 is only bringing the problems to the surface and speeding up the trends. Do we need so many shopping malls in Singapore? With the e-commerce getting more popular, are we only relying on tourists or visitors to patronize these big malls in the Orchard area? Can we see the high vacancy rate of both retail and offices? Do we see the huge upcoming supply from both sectors? Why are retailers and companies asked to pay high rents when mall and office spaces are pushed up by cheap money? If people can basically work from home, why companies are still paying so much for rent, renovating the office space, arranging parking for employees, supporting the IT need, and stuffing F&B in the pantries? Do we have a big market for co-working spaces in Singapore here? Or are we too eager to look for the next big thing to go public so that some people can make big money? With a pandemic, everything is going back to fundamentals now. For so many bad things COVID-19 has brought us, at least for once, it forces us to come back to earth and take a good hard look at the truth. It's interesting for so long we choose to ignore it. Now things are getting clearer and better in that sense. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you again soon.